Now, it's been a few days, but we are back with some more F125 My Team, and we are fresh off the back of the Mexican Grand Prix, which was insane. We maxed out our sentiment, our fan bonuses, and corporate income is now up 25%. If you want to see exactly what happened, guys, last week, the Mexican Grand Prix, the previous episode, will be linked in the top right, spoilers ahead, and trust me, it was a fun one, really worth watching. Anyways, today, we're here in Interlagos for Brazil.
Hey Chief, we've finished developing a part and it's now ready for fitting. Make sure to stop by the Assign Upgrade screen when you get the chance.
Now, this clip you're watching right now was actually recorded on the back end of the previous episode. I started recording today, and for some reason, the intro part of today's episode is broken. I don't know what happened. It wasn't fluid. It was really freeze-framey, and there's a lot of footage missing. I fixed it for practice onwards, so the actual racing and on-track gameplay is fine, but all the admin work doesn't exist. So I'll basically summarize in a nutshell. Nothing major really happened. All we did was research an error update, the last one that we have available, and we protected 2 chassis upgrades and 2 power unit upgrades, the most expensive ones on each, as we begin to prepare for the regulation change. Now, heading into this one, I managed to get a screen grab of the performance chart, and you can see we are officially the 5th best team on the grid. We are behind Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari. We firmly moved away from that midfield group of Aston, Alpine, Williams, and we're sort of in between. We're very close to a maxed out car. P2 last time out, of course, with Colapinto, and we are racing as Colapinto again this weekend for the South American doubleheader, as we are near enough to Argentina, to his home country. So we're going to jump into practice and get today's episode and practice session underway with the programs. Now, one thing we're looking for here, besides R&D points, is trying to accrue a decent bit of data, because this is a sprint weekend, which means we are going to have 2 races, double the points up for grabs, and a double opportunity to hopefully have a good weekend. Now, we got through our tyre management program, only getting a green score. In the race runs, we had a bit of traffic with Ocon and Albon, but we did manage to get them programs done, luckily enough, or those laps done. And then we did the track acclimatization last, because I only had 2 tyres available, so I actually went back onto the tyres that we used for the fuel management to get this one done, and we also got a purple score. So job done. Practice went pretty damn well for a single session on a sprint weekend, and you can see we've got 1.03 tyre wear for the race runs, fuel race load 45.47, average of 126 per lap. So we'll basically make a note and carry that data into the sprint and then into the main race to see how that performs. But yeah, job done for us. A decent session. We finished in P10. Hulkenberg in the top 8 on the soft compound tyres, half a second quicker than us. And yeah, overall, a good start to proceedings. So we went ahead, moved on. We picked up 585 points, which is actually pretty decent for a sprint weekend. And yeah, we'll be only spending those R&D points now on researching projects outside of the scope of the regulation change. So the focus now is earning cash. Anyway.
Atmospheric tracks don't come much better than this. We're in Brazil for qualifying. Let's get some laps at the limit.
We're going to jump into the sprint shootout. Short session, so 12 minutes on the clock, and we are out on track on mediums as always. We locked up, ran a bit deep into that hairpin just at the beginning there, so we're going to have a small bit of time to find, hopefully on our second lap. Other than that, it was a pretty decent first lap, and as you guys know, I've mentioned it before, on sprint weekends we'll do short qualifyings, and because of that the tyre allocation gives you a set of mediums, which I like to burn on my first run to basically get a banker lap, or in this case 2 banker laps, because it's very short.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
It's a very short track, and you can see through that hairpin where we locked up last time, on our second lap we were actually down, but we recovered some of that time back, and we're going to actually end up improving by about 1.5 to 2 tenths in the end. So had we had a slightly better start to the lap, we could have found a bit more time. Either way, we're going to drop into the low 105s. Over the line we go, and we move into P9. Still though, surprisingly behind Hulkenberg, who is looking very quick this weekend so far. Up front, Leclerc setting the pace. Both McLarens up there, which is not great. But regardless, we're going to jump onto this final lap in the shootout, this time on soft tyres. And there we go, P8. I can't lie, that felt like a really nice lap. That feels like we've maximised the result. But to my surprise, actually, Nico Hülkenberg has out-qualified us. I think for the first time ever in this entire series, after almost 50 episodes, our teammate, in a non-rain, non-crash situation where it's legit on merit, has actually out-qualified us. So I love that I'm seeing this, by the way. Finally, we're getting some progress. And ironically, just as we've replaced our lineup, they're starting to perform. But still, Hülkenberg P7, Colapinto with us finishes P8, Verstappen's on pole, and yeah, Leclerc's on the front row. Piastri crucially third, and Antonelli is P9. Those are our nearest rivals. So Hülkenberg in the Drivers' Championship in the battle for P7. Anyway, sprint time.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the drive the grid order for today's exciting sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, George Russell and Norris, Hülkenberg, Colapinto, Antonelli and Alex Albon, Gasly, Hamilton, Liam Lawson and Stroll, Behrman, Ocon, Jack Crawford and Jack Doohan, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Pepe Marti and Paul Aaron completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Right, here we go then. On the grid after being out-qualified by Nico Hülkenberg. First time, I think ever, if not in a long, long time, legit out-qualified by my teammate in this career mode. Now, strategy. I've loaded up the correct fuel for a sprint distance, taking the single lap burn, timing it by 12. We have the mediums ready to go. Pretty straightforward strategy, to be honest. I don't expect any surprises. No rain forecast. So let's get to it. We're currently P7, P8. Let's try and hopefully make that a few more points. So currently, provisionally, we're in the points. Top 8, of course, score points in the sprint. So we're in a good spot. Let's hopefully not lose anything and try and gain everything. So let's get to work. This should be a fun one. Uphill start should always be interesting. Everyone on mediums. Here we go then. Part 1 of the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend. Lights on. And we're underway. Not my greatest start. Quite a bit of wheel spin. Was going to try to go to the outside there, but Hülkenberg just kind of opened up his line at the last moment, so had to wait. Big snapper oversteer through turn 2 as we kick out onto the straight. Let's see if we can try and do anything here. Seems like we're all fairly equal for straight line speed. Any other car would probably go for it here, but we'll let Hülkenberg, you know, crack on. It's his right. He out-qualified us. We'll let him have a first crack and see if we can challenge any of the cars ahead. If not, then we'll look to go through. But for now, Albon's past, Antonelli behind, which is really good in terms of keeping faster cars at bay. Of course, Hamilton also will be coming through the field as well. So, good start. 11 laps ahead. Let's see how they all pan out. I expect really Leclerc and Verstappen to drive off in P1, P2, and then we'll see how the rest pan out. Right, battling ahead. it begins. That's going to break the train. It's Tsunoda versus Norris. We'll see if Hulkenberg can do anything here. Tsunoda and Norris are side by side. Russell's going to get involved, I think. It's kicking off big time. At the minute, Hulkenberg just struggling to get involved, find a space. Tsunoda's got through, and now Russell trying to pass Norris. Lots of debris being kicked up as the cars bottom out over the curbs, but there we go. Norris holds on, keeps Russell behind. I think Tsunoda might get away here. This might be about for P5. Hulkenberg's going for a hit on Russell. This is it. This is lovely. Come on. This is what we want to see. Our teammate actually helping us out and making moves. Russell's going to have DRS here though. That could be an issue. To be fair, Antonelli's also passed Albon behind. I'm quite happy to stay here though. I think I've got some pace to burn, but I'm in no rush to use it. I'd rather we both get points. If we pass Hulkenberg, it's likely other cars behind will pass and he'll drop out. So if it means I defend a little bit and we can try and get double points, then so be it. It's Mercedes V97 right now, so let's try and come out on top in this battle. Here goes Hulkenberg again. Inside line for turn 4 on Russell, and he gets it done. Also Hamilton has appeared. So now, ideally, we try and get Russell here and get in between him and Hulkenberg, and really we just try and block it up. Simple as that really, but I think it's going to be difficult. To be fair, Hulkenberg's got a bit of a gap here. I've got to run. Down the inside on George into turn 1, and we get it done. That's a lovely little move. And we've got a DRS on Hulkenberg, so that has actually worked out perfectly. Russell quite passive there, not that quick on the straight, and that was a good opportunity for us to move up. So look at this, Tsunoda and Norris are battling. That's good. Hulkenberg, Colapinto, P6, P7. Right, this wasn't in the script. I'm actually getting dropped here. Hulkenberg is, well, has actually dropped me. Damn, that wasn't part of the plan. Right, we're going to have to dump everything. I can feel my rear starting to go, and indeed they are starting to overheat, so that would explain some of the issues. Russell, having a look here. We'll have to defend to make our car nice and wide. Tsunoda and Norris are really duking it out. I think actually Hulkenberg might get back in the fight. We have to try and hang on to this for as long as possible. George closing, but doesn't pull alongside, so we'll take the racing line back. Got a yellow at turn 1, I think. No big deal though. So it's only a Sauber.
Okay, some information on Bortoletto. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Home favourite is out. Right, George is probably going to get through here. I won't make it easy. I'll have DRS for the next straight.
Yellow flag.
Antonelli's queuing up. I just hope Hulkenberg's got enough to not give Russell DRS. That's sort of what we want to avoid here.
Okay, clear.
And I'll look to try and pass Russell at the end. Antonelli's having a look. He's going to have to try harder than that. Russell's pushing. Oh my god, my rears are letting go. I think I lost DRS. I don't believe it. I just can't keep up with these AI with the overheating rear tyres. It's killing me. Antonelli's going to have a look here. We're going to defend the inside. Hopefully I can still nab DRS for this straight, which we do. We get a warning in the process. Really poor exit, suboptimal. I think that might be Russell gone, to be honest. No DRS again. I just can't get back in. We'll be fine in the race. I think the hard tyre will limit those overheating issues, but in the sprint and on the mediums, we just can't make it work. So we'll suffer as well in the main race on the hard tyres. I'll say that actually. We've got an issue with tyres. I'll get into that in a bit. The hards aren't really the best race tyre for this track, so that could be a problem. Finally, we haven't been dropped. We've managed to hang on to Antonelli, which is massive. So we can now begin our recharge. We've been struggling for battery. Hamilton will get close here, but I'm willing to let that happen just so that we can get a bit of recharge and start to plan the end of this race. Okay, good middle sector. I've actually got a decent bit of charge. We might be able to get this one back. At the same time, Russell's going to probably get Hulkenberg as well, so there could be a double swap on the cards. Here we go. Onto the last lap. Down the inside, it's a big one, big lunge. Russell, Hulkenberg battling, not sure who's going to get DRS there, but they're really close. Antonelli's going to have DRS on us now, so we're going to have to just defend down towards turn 4, which we will. So there we go, we're back in the points. And back where we started. There we go, Piastri wins. Worst case scenario, absolute disaster. Did not see that coming. And that's going to really hurt Hulkenberg in the Drivers' Championship. It is what it is.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, there we go. It all actually worked out okay in the end. We gave the Mercedes cars a really good fight, and we managed to keep Antonelli and Hamilton behind and out the points. But as I mentioned, Piastri getting points is really not ideal. Out of every single driver, that's the one we don't want. And it seems like just as we're getting closer to Hulkenberg, Piastri the last couple of rounds has really turned it up and has improved its pace. So yeah, really not ideal. Anyway, let's quickly have a look at the standings after the sprint. So you can see Verstappen, of course, is already champion, but in our battle, Piastri P7, Antonelli P8, Hulkenberg now, that's the new rival. It's not Piastri, it's Antonelli. And Colapinto, of course, on course for the 100-point mark. So, yeah, okay, decent stint, decent sprint, nothing really to worry about. But we're now getting to qualifying, and then the main race where the big points are scored.
Atmospheric tracks don't come much better than this. We're in Brazil for qualifying. Let's get some laps at the limit.
Now, let's get into this particular qualifying session where we're going to carry some of that data from, of course, the shootout and also the sprint race itself to see if we can improve. We had to deal with Ollie Behrman there as traffic on the kind of exit of the hairpin. Now heading up to the line, we're going to see what we can do. We, of course, were in the high 1:04s in the sprint. First lap in qualifying is a 1:05, so a little bit slower than the shootout. We are just behind Hulkenberg. I went for a second push attempt as we had time for that, and we only have 2 sets of tyres available, so we may as well get the most out of this first set. And to be fair, it was pretty neck and neck. There wasn't a lot of time in it. We did find a bit of time just on the exit of the last corner, and heading up the hill, we're going to basically carry that all the way to the line. So we're going to find the 10th and actually dip into the 1:04s, but you can see it's not going to change much as we don't even overtake Hulkenberg. So again, Hulk showing legit pace in this one and has been strong all weekend. So Norris is on pole provisionally, huge gap to Verstappen, Piastri's P5, but no sign of the Mercedes cars, which is really interesting. I'm sure they'll appear at some point. Leclerc down in P10 as well. We're going to jump on to our final qualifying run, and we're going to see if we can first off try and do better than our sprint shootout lap. And if we do that, let's see how far we can really take it. Anyway, full slot lap here at Interlagos, Brazil. And just like in the shootout, deja vu, it's P8 yet again. That just seems to be our pace. You know, you saw the sprint, P7, P8. This time it's P8, P9. Russell made it up there in the end, but you can see Norris on pole with that original lap, which was good enough. And yeah, things worth noting, we are in a Piastri-Antonelli sandwich. So Hulkenberg's nearest rivals for P7 in the Drivers' Championship are right there. Hulkenberg is P9. It's all within 20 points, so it's all to play for. And to be fair, if we'd just gone a 10th quicker, we could have got P6. So not bad, but the lap itself felt really good. It's our best lap of the weekend, and Hulkenberg is right there with us. So I can't complain. That's the pace of the car. We are right there with our teammate, also with the pace of the AI in general. So it's going to be a tough weekend, competitive as you saw in the sprint. So the race is going to be a challenge, but let's get into it and let's see.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us all to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Yung Cao into one of two DRS zones will be key to any overtaking prospects today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda and Russell, Piastri, Colapinto, Hulkenberg and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Gasly, Stroll, Liam Lawson and Albon, Ocon, Behrman, Jack Doohan and Jack Crawford, Pepe Marti, Aaron, Hadjar and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Right, here we go then. Time for the race at Brazil. P8 on the grid yet again. Deja vu. This time we are the lead car in our team. Hulkenberg is behind. And yeah, for this one, I don't know what to expect. The hard tyre is king for us, but this is a track where you would normally just run softs and mediums, which is what I'm expecting the AI to do. So we are going to be at a big of a disadvantage in this one, especially because the hard tyre is very hard and struggles to work. So I'm doing this because we overheat our tyres, and when we do, we lose our edge and we're not competitive. So for this one, I'm starting on the hard tyre. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take a chance. We might suffer for the first 10 laps or so, but I'm hoping we can have a good second half of the stint. Also, mediums in the second stint. I will likely extend my stint to around lap 22 maybe, but the plan is to hopefully have a lighter car and an easier second stint and not overheat the rears as badly. So we'll see if the plan works, if it all converges. Either way, I don't have high expectations based off the sprint. I think if we finish where we are, that would be pretty decent. For the fuel, I've loaded up the sim. We've got the practice data on, so let's get to it. Let's see what happens. Right, trying to get temperature in these hards. We should just about be okay to make it on this pit straight. But let's get to it. We'll see if we can have a better race. Again, I expect to struggle, but hopefully it comes good at the end. I won't get in the way if Hulkenberg pushes on. Lights on, here we go. Good start. Really good start of hard tyres. I thought about it. Down the middle there. Going 3 wide, but that gap was closing. Hulkenberg on our right. We'll let him go. And we'll just fall in behind. We'll see if we can try and keep Antonelli back for the time being. That won't be easy, but I'll give it a shot. Kimi's having a look. We are running 1 extra click of front wing compared to the sprint, so I'm hoping that will also just allow us to keep up a bit easier in the middle sector. So we'll see how all these tweaks based off the sprint are going to pan out, and we'll see if this strategy gamble pays off. We'll be okay for now. Once the field starts to spread, we'll see what the true pace is. Everybody seems to be on mediums, which is a good thing. I thought everyone would be on softs, so that is a bit of a surprise. I thought I'd be, suffering a bit more from that point of view. So I think this could be manageable. It's likely Antonelli goes, and we probably just sit ahead at Gasly. That's what I expect. So yeah, lap 1 done. Let's settle in, and let's try and find our true pace. At the moment, we're keeping up. Out front, Leclerc and Norris have gotten away, but Hamilton is P3. And as we saw, he hasn't been that quick this weekend. He's actually holding everyone up here. So that's actually a welcome little surprise, because it's enabling us to actually stick with the pack. We've also dropped Gasly, so the top 10 is starting to form and break away. This is good. Pace is looking okay. I've still got plenty of battery and resources, so long may it continue. Oh, we got a...
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace.
I just saw that. There was a block at the last corner. As I see it, red flag. Now, what do we do here on strategy? Now, this is interesting because I don't think I have another set of hard tyres. So we stay on the ones that we were on, is my thinking, and we stick to the plan and go to mediums. I think that's what makes sense, because at this stage, I think it's a bit early. I don't really want to use the medium because of the overheating issue, so I feel like the hard tyre makes sense. We just stick with the plan, really, and we'll see if the AI change course.
Wait in just a moment. Stand by.
Well, here we go then. Lights on. We do have some strategy changes. I see a soft tyre. I see quite a few hards. Bad start though. I didn't get a chance to change my engine mode. I was stuck in none. Gonna try and get Hulkenberg here because we're now in the same compound. I want to see if I can try and fight. The only issue is I think these lot are now fresh hard tyres, whereas we have a little bit of wear. I mean, it's literally 3%. It's nothing, but that's how low the hard tyre wear is. The only good thing for Hulkenberg about this, he could, and really I think should go to the end on hards. It should be doable because the tyre wear is so low. So that's a really good strategy option for him. Having started mediums, that's the case for everybody else. Also went mediums and then switched to hards under the red flag. Everybody else on softs will have to box again. So this race has really been mixed up now, and this could go any way. So let's stick with it. We know we've got some pace. It was looking okay in that first stint, so let's keep using it. Right, Leclerc 106.5. I assume he's on soft tyres. That's my guess. At the minute, we're keeping up okay with Tsunoda here, and he's about to be dropped by Piastri. So let's see. We might have a chance here to move up and push on. Tsunoda does not have DRS anymore, so we'll try and prepare something next time around. Cars ahead had a bit of a slow middle sector. I'm not sure if Tsunoda is going to get DRS or not. It's going to be close. Let's see. I don't think he does have it. So we're going to try and go through here, move up and move on. Get it stopped. Bit of a lock up on the way in. We drag it all the way through, but we're up and ahead of Yuki. We've got Russell and Piastri ahead on quicker, softer compounds. I'll see if I can try and work my way into DRS range on this lap. Right, Tsunoda's right there. Haven't been able to get away, but to be fair, we did gain a little bit on the cars ahead. I won't hold Yuki up. We'll let him move on. We'll try and keep this efficient. We do have to stop for mediums. Obviously, the red flag will allow us to extend our stint and box later for the mediums. At the minute, car feels really good. Really happy on this tyre. Hulkenberg battling with Antonelli. I will say that it's about for P9 and P10. P11 and beyond are way back, so the gap has already formed, so everyone here should be on for points. And there they are now battling again, as Antonelli will likely go through this time. Tsunoda's just suddenly got the burners on here, and the group ahead slowed right down. I just managed to hold on to DRS. I'm not sure if Yuki got it on Piastri or not, but they've really slowed up ahead. Someone's going slow or they're battling a lot. Yuki's going for it on Piastri, but doesn't commit. Up ahead it's Russell v Verstappen. So this little group is going to probably form now. Might bring the cars behind back into it. But this is good. This is perfect. If Hulkenberg can go to the end, that could be massive. Look at this battle though. It's really kicking off. I wonder if Verstappen has damage or something, or Russell. I think it's Verstappen who was ahead. Everyone seems to have their front wing end plates from what I can tell. Antonelli and Hulkenberg have now caught back up, so P10 to P4 in this big old fight. So a lot can change in this one, and crucially we've got Piastri right there, which is huge. So yeah, they're going to keep battling and losing time. That's going to let the top three get away and basically wrap up the podium. So Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton will get away. Piastri, Verstappen now going at it. This is going to allow Russell to break away. I think Max has an issue because Tsunoda's quicker than him. Granted, Max is on softs, Sonoda's on hards, but I mean, Piastri's looking to go through as well, so Max is usually dominant, so something is not quite right. And look at that Red Bull there, Verstappen just sliding out of 4, so Russell's going to get away. I just wonder when the pit stops are going to start, considering they would have boxed by now. There you go. Ask and deliver. Piastri, Verstappen in.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Now that seems to confirm that, actually, to my surprise. The 2 Ferraris and Norris are not on softs, even though they've built that huge gap, so they're likely on mediums is my guess. So, let's see. Right, more cars in, I think. Yeah, Russell in there. Also Ferrari.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Right, so I'm going to extend this a little bit, because I want to make sure we don't have a super long stint on mediums, you know, overheating our tyres. So if I can get to like lap 24, that'd be nice.
Pit now, pit now.
Ooh, Russell's out. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Direct rival. We can score more points. Sonoda's in. Off the hard tyres. And Antonelli as well. So Hulkenberg stays out, of course, with us. Right, well in that case, it looks like Hulkenberg will be stopping again. If the AI are doing it, then so will he. So I will extend so that I don't end up accidentally stacking him behind us. So we'll go long to avoid that situation happening. And once he pits, we'll box. Right, we'll stay out. We'll see if hopefully Nico comes in. I want to go long anyway, so I want to go to lap 24 and make our stint a bit longer. There we go, he's in.
Okay, Nico's into the pits. Nico in the pits.
That's absolutely ideal. Perfect. Right, Leclerc's arriving. We might be able to have some DRS for a short while whilst he catches. Verstappen's got it going again. No damage. I think he must have had an issue with those tyres, maybe on softs, but he's back on his usual pace again. Right, Leclerc's absolutely flying. He'll probably get me here. Out of the centre area, stand towards turn 4. He's got so much more pace. He's got DRS now as well. I will just not fight this. I'll let him go on the right side. No time loss. And if I can try and hang and get his DRS, that would be huge. I don't think it's going to happen though. Right, no DRS, but I'm going to go one more lap. We'll box end of 25. And that should do the trick for us.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Here we go then. We've done a good stint here. Good job through the red flag. Hoping to rejoin near Hulkenberg, who's battling with Antonelli. That's going to be our fight. Maybe we can catch up to Tsunoda. You never know. If this overcut works and we've got a decent tyre life. That was a really aggressive pit entry, so I'm hoping that would have gained us some time. But let's see, we're also burning through our fuel. I've also selected click down on the wing, so we're resetting back to sprint wing levels as we're now in this final 10 lap sprint on mediums to the end. So I can probably get away with a bit less wing, hopefully have a bit more straight line speed and charge battery quicker.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Right, drifting our way out the pits, and there we are, P9, just behind Hulkenberg, Antonelli, about for P7. Hulkenberg about to go back through, or trying to, so looking pretty good. If we can catch Tsunoda, make it a top 6, that would be a decent result. Both cars looking to be in the points today, so let's get to work and let's make this tyre work for us. They're all on hards again, so they've gone for another hard tyre, so we're going to have the upper hand for the rest of this Grand Prix. Right, first lap with DRS, 106, pretty decent. Don't feel like I've got a ton more pace, like a huge amount in reserve, but I've got enough to get these two. But I think Tsunoda might be a bit tricky to catch. I don't think we'll be able to get him. He's got too much of a gap now. So target P7 and hopefully P8 Hulkenberg. First little wobble there for Kimi. That's good to see. We'll try and punish that little mistake and put him under some pressure here. Not a bad exit, considering. Here we go. He's going to have DRS, but I've got some momentum. I'm going to commit to this and try and make it work. Bit of contact as we go to the outside, which becomes the inside for turn 2. That's a warning. I swear I kept at least a tyre in the white line. Either way, all good. We got DRS. And we're through. Kimi's trying to re-challenge, but all good. Oh, that was a costly one, but we've actually dropped Kimi. Kimi's out of DRS range. I don't believe there's any contact or anything. I don't think I gave him any wing damage. Right, this is the closest I've actually managed to get to Hulkenberg. Tsunoda is still pulling away. To be honest, it makes little sense to overtake Hulkenberg for position. I just want to see what sort of pace we can do in clean air. If it's no good, I may even give Hulkenberg the place back at the end for the points in the championship, because Antonelli is behind on track today, so Hulkenberg could close in quite a fair bit. Gained a little bit of time on Tsunoda on that lap. To be fair, Piastri is just ahead of him as well. We'll let Hulkenberg go. Try and work together then, and let's see if we can try and do something. Let's see. Right, well, to be honest, not much happened. We started to run into overheating trouble again. As you can see, I accidentally flashed through it, but there you can see we've had trouble again overheating. So I'm thinking about the championship here, and it's better for Hulkenberg to be the lead car. And I'll say one thing, I wasn't quicker, by the way. Maybe a fresh tyres without overheating, but at the minute I'm not quicker. So Hulkenberg deservedly ahead. P7, damage limitation to Piastri. We outscore Antonelli, and that is a big result. Both cars in the points.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
What a drive! What a driver! Charles Leclerc takes the victory.
Race win, fastest lap as well, so that extra point for them today, and what a masterful performance. They really showed a clean pair of heels to the rest of the opposition out there today. They had no answer for him.
Now it is time to start the celebrations as we welcome our top three. And there can only be one on the top step. Today, his name is Charles Leclerc.
Well, there we go then. Race finished at Brazil. Ferrari 1-2, Lando on the podium, and then Verstappen misses out. Piastri P5. Not bad. But overall, as the weekend whole, Piastri did score quite a fair few points. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, both drivers for our team, P7, P8. You'd love to see it. But by the way, same result as the sprint as well. Super consistent. And we are firmly the 5th best team on the grid behind the top 4 teams. And on this particular weekend, we outscored Mercedes by quite a bit. I feel like with Russell's DNF today, that was a good weekend overall. So just to quickly recap, I want to talk about the combined results. So you can see here for the weekend we finished P8, P7 as well, ahead of both Mercedes cars. So a really good day in the office, to be honest, and a really just good weekend in general. Lacked a bit of pace to the top 3 teams, but not bad at all. And yeah, Hulkenberg with some huge points as an AI, by the way. Really important to note that as an AI to hopefully have a strong end to the season. Now, as I mentioned, we were driving as Colapinto for the last round at Mexico and today at Brazil as a South American doubleheader. We'll now go back to controlling Hulkenberg for at least the next 2 rounds to try and mount that end of season push in the Drivers' Championship, which now you can see is looking pretty promising. So Piastri has gotten away a bit this weekend, but we have 2 races to try and hopefully do something about it. But Antonelli is only 7 points away, so Hulkenberg is staring down a P8, possibly a P7 in the driver's title. Hamilton, with that podium today, has pretty much got himself out the conversation now. It was looking like maybe even a P6, but Lewis has just had a decent result today, so that's just going to push him out of range. But I think P7 might still happen if things go our way. Colapinto also looking good for the 100-point mark. I was hoping to get a few more points this weekend to get him closer, but we'll see if he can do it as an AI for the next 2 or 3 rounds before the season ends. In the Constructors, P5 is exactly where we deserve to be. And yeah, we are not a million miles away from Mercedes or McLaren, to be fair. And the last few rounds, I'll say we've scored the same points, if not a couple more than them. So we're definitely on pace to hopefully have a strong end to Season 2. And if we can try and roll this momentum into Season 3, we might be cooking with our new lineup of Sainz and Gasly. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. On screen, you would have seen the fallout from this one in terms of fan rating, which We were actually maxed out in terms of fan bonuses and sentiment last episode. We'll see if we can maintain that in this one. Either way, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, smash the like button. Let's try and hit over 750 likes. Subscribe for more daily F1 content, F1 related content, F1 25 content. And yeah, check out the 2 videos on screen. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao.